Hi guys, welcome to another Saturday vlog, and today's date is the 20th of August. I've quite a few things to talk about, but as always I'll try and keep it brief because I don't think anyone ever makes it to the end of some of these videos. I think some of them have gone on for about 25-30 minutes, so don't worry too much, I'm not going to keep you that long this week. The first up, one I'd like to have just a quick chat about is I've been coming up with an idea for a show. I went and bought a copy of a book I had as a kid, which is a freebie that came with Sega Power, which is the Road Rash one. But they did a Desert Strike one, and I think it was an F1 book based on the Super Monaco. Maybe that was it. It was a Super Monaco book, and they were written by one of the editors of the staff at the time. They're all very, very, very small. I think that Road Rash one's about 79 pages. Nothing to it, nice big text and everything, so it's more of a short story really than a full-size book, but got me to thinking, well, why not try and do something a bit clever, because you know it's really difficult to get these books, people won't know these stories, so I've been humming an hour and a bit, and I think what I'm going to do is like a read-along story time. Sounds crazy, but do you know, I'll put all like videos or whatever and stuff in the background playing just to keep people's attention, but I'll probably do it over a few weeks, or I'll do it in a series. I won't do a full reading of the full book, God no, but I'll probably do it. There's like 12 or 13 chapters, and I think I fiddled about the other night, and I think maybe one chapter takes about 10 minutes, which I think is about alright for a YouTube video. So unless it's a small one, which take a couple, I'll maybe stick a few together. But I'm going to start playing around with that because it just interested me. It seemed like a crazy idea that nobody's done. But I'm telling you now, so don't steal my idea. I'm working on it. It's mine. But yeah, I'll do a Road Rash one. See how that goes. If it's popular, I'll move on and do the other ones. So yeah, something to look forward to. In other news, the Amiga CD32 hunt is still ongoing. I put down another auction bid. It jumped up to £195 in the last couple of minutes, and I'm not paying that much for one. There's no way in the earth are they worth that. I mean, the problem is at the moment people are sticking buy it nows on for about 300-400 quid. It's always a couple of the same sellers doing these crazy prices, which screws it up, because then someone comes along, and they're quite rightly so, and they think, oh my god, this is how much this is worth, well, this is what the market must be, and they'll stick a starting price of about 200, 250, and they won't sell, and they'll keep trying, but because they don't have to pay anything for that, they'll leave it for a few months, and it just buggers up the market for everybody else. But so I keep missing the odd one that comes along, but I'm determined I'll get one. In my frustration, I've not been able to get one. I went and bought another retro computer. That's winging its way to me. It's been sent by courier, so it should be here in the next 3 or 4 days. So I won't spoil the surprise, but I'll stick a video up when that arrives. What else was there? Sorry, I've got my list again. I always keep a list throughout the week just to do these videos, because I just forget stuff. Yeah, another thing I was looking at, I was watching this video this guy did, Why Hero Quest is so great, and it's by, oh god I forgot, something, Bardic Games or whatever. Just go and look at that title, Why Hero Quest is so great. Even if you never were into the game or never liked it, it's so funny. It's only like 5 or 6 minutes long, but he acts like a crazy bard. He goes over the top, makes all these jokes, and it's just a bit of brilliant humour. I loved it. It's got about 500,000 views. I mean, it's crazy. The guy had no channel hardly at all before, just the odd video with a few thousand hits on, and puts this up and it's hit 500,000 in like a couple of weeks. Absolutely nuts, but go and see it. But it did get me to thinking, because I mean, I had Hero Quest when I was about 8 or 9. I think I had Lost Valley of the Dinosaurs first, which sort of got me interested in that sort of board game with the puzzles on. And as it went on a bit more and stuff, I started getting more and more interested, and you know, I was growing old stuff, and I started looking at Games Workshop stuff. And then Hero Quest came out, and I was really excited. I think it was around about Christmas time, and my parents got me one because it was just a normal board game, and And I remember I was primary school at the time, you know, I played that to death with all my mates and everything, because I was too young to be any good at the paintings, and I did have a go, but I was using like these rubbishy water paints you used to get as a kid, like a little colouring type box, and I used that to paint them all. They were dreadful. I can remember them, but I was real proud of them at the time. But anyway, yeah, just got thinking, a lot of fond memories of that as a game. I was half tempted. I thought, oh well, you know, this video's great, and it might well. I've got no one to play with. You know, I know nobody's into that sort of thing, but it's just one of them things to have on a shelf. And then I went on eBay to have a look at complete sets, and in an average condition, you're looking at about £95. Oh, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy. But that's the price of them. What can you do? So I've decided to give that a miss. But if I see a cheap one for about 50 or 60, I'll probably sneakily buy one. And I did, as I was looking at the time and looking for more Hero Quest stuff, you know, going through the old memories and the add-on packs and stuff that there's only a couple. But I believe they did someone did a Kickstarter about 2 or 3 years ago for like the 25th anniversary for it, and they remodeled it all and did proper up-to-date 3D style models and painted sets and all the rest of it. And it's really expensive now, I believe. I know I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm not sure if it was just a very limited run and it's gone. It was made over in Spain, I think, or you know, that way. So yeah. Anyway, it's something to look into. Next I wanted to have a quick talk about was, I don't know I'm sure if you're watching me now, you've been watching the channel, but in the last week or so I've been doing like commentaries and old retro TV shows. I've done Games Master so far, an episode from the last series of that. I did When Games Attacks. To be honest, but those two are just Dominic Diamond shows, but I've got a load of others to have a look at if I want to, like Bad Influence and things like that. And I mean, as doing the videos, I loved it. It was fantastic because it's really, really easy just to stick it on the PC and sit there and watch it and then talk and record, you know, make the odd comment. I don't dim the sound so much that you can't watch the episode. But it's a lot of fun. I actually did a couple of those. I've enjoyed it. But I thought, rather than just do a load and stick them all up on the channel, it gets a bit, I think it's too much, because they're like 24-25 minutes a piece, and it'd be too many day after day after day. So I'm going to start doing them once every Sunday. Maybe. The thing is, I know they've not been too popular, and I think it's probably because they're just too long. And who really wants to listen to me rambling on? But I've had a lot of fun doing them. But are you interested in that? Are you interested in me doing even more of these? Like I say, I got about 70-80 views per one, whereas if I do like a normal retro gaming video, I might get 150 to 200 plus hits, you know, straight away. So it's obviously not as popular, but then at the same time, as Luke Morse was saying, you know, just do what you enjoy doing and stuff everybody else, which is he's right, and I have been doing that to some degree. But then I always think, well, at the same time, do I want to bore people silly? You know, because I really like doing something, it doesn't mean everybody else will. So I'm interested. Just stick something in the comments below, and yeah, let me know what you think. Next up, I wanted to talk about. I went to see Suicide Squad. This has nothing to do with games or anything, but I felt I had to talk about it. I went to see Suicide Squad last Sunday. I mean, I watched Batman vs Superman. I've told that fella. I watched Batman vs Superman at the pictures. When I was in there, I didn't think right away. I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't come out of there thinking, oh yeah, you know, this is an absolutely awful film. But it took a couple of days, like little niggles at the back of my mind, and when I had time to think about it, and a few days later, it sort of hit me, and I was like, yeah, that was actually pretty poor. What, you know, the representation of like the whole Superman and the world and things. And I liked Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he was great, but I thought it was unfair he'd not been given a script or anything proper to do, and that's the whole problem with the whole film. It just wasn't a great film. And then leading up to Suicide Squad, I didn't want to do it, but I watched the ultimate cut of the film, and it filled in. It had an extra 30 minutes, I think. It might have been 20, but it filled in lots and lots and lots of the gaps. Like in the original theatrical cut, the whole. I'm sorry, this is spoiler, sort not really, but the whole big building blows up where Superman's in it, and then this is the theatrical cut. And you think, I remember sitting there like, oh well, you'll zoom around and start saving people. It doesn't. it shows him flying off into the sky, and that's the end of it. And then and then you show people complaining about, oh yeah, Superman's abandoned us, that sort of thing. And it was terrible, because it's like, this is Superman. In none of the iterations would he have ever done anything like that. It was just insane. But then when you get to the ultimate cut, he does actually stop and hang around, and it shows him saving people. I don't know, and it's like 15, 20 seconds. And then something happens, he's done his bit, and then he looks at someone and he takes off, and that's the bit you got from the theatrical cut. And then that just straight away, you just think, it just removed me anger of, well, why didn't he help them people at all? He did, but they cut it, and it just ruins the theatrical cut. And I thought the whole Ultimate was a lot better. The film flowed a lot better, but it's still pushing at average at best. Now, really low average as well, you know. I mean, even then I struggled with it, and I don't like it. I just do not. Sorry, I cannot like it as a film. I don't think I'm the only one. But yeah, I have to watch that, because I thought, I'm going to Suicide Squad. I had a very, very, very good trailer, and then once it got released on that weekend, and I started hearing about all these terrible things about it, and you know, how it's awful, and this, that, and the other one, and everybody hates it, and it got tanked on reviews. It got about, I think it was 25% or something on Rotten Tomatoes, absolutely tanking everywhere, and I was just like, oh, well, I'll give it a go, because, you know, it's a new superhero movie, and it's summer. And I went along, sat there, watched it, and I absolutely bloody liked it. I thought Harley Quinn was that's probably, you couldn't have asked for a better Harley Quinn. I mean, I'm an original animated series fan. That was Harley Quinn. Robbie was amazing. She couldn't have. Her bits were excellent. The Joker was a bit ropey, but you know, once you got used to it, he was only really a guest star anyway. It was okay. I thought that you could tell they'd been obvious that they'd been cutting away at it again. There was a few bits which sort of didn't make sense, like one character does something and disappears and then comes back 20 seconds later, and it's gone, but it's not explained why he's back, and you know, problems like that. Very, very, very ropey. But yeah, overall, I mean, I had this going in there thinking maybe it's a Marmite film, everyone either hates it or like it, but I had a bloody good time, and that's probably going to be quite unpopular, but you know, I like what I like. It had its problems. It was a very B-list sort of like, well, it wasn't a superhero film, was it? It was more of a villain hero piece, but I enjoyed it. So from me, I would say go and watch it. Don't just go in there, forget about the negative stuff. You like what you like again. You might enjoy this. The bits with Batman were amazing. He's a guest. He makes appearances in it, and those were amazing. And I can't wait to see Affleck's a proper Batman film, because he's an amazing director, and he's directing one, and he's got someone from the comics involved as well. I think I might be wrong on that, but somebody who knows the stuff. Anyway, so Suicide Squad, you might hate it. I liked it. It wasn't a great film, but I thought it was above average. I had a good time. It was a good popcorn flick. Had its problems, I will go and see it again. Yeah, next up, the last one I'll talk about. I also went to see Ghostbusters. Now, you know, I mean, I've got all the Ghostbusters filmed. I've got a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man sat on the shelf over there. You know, I've always been into Ghostbusters for years and years and years. But I haven't seen it for a couple of years, even though I got it over on the shelf over there, sat on Blu-ray. And I knew this was coming, and heard all the thing with the trailer and the bad press and everything, and I just thought, well, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. It's been a couple of years, and I'm great with films. If I leave them for a few years, I'll forget a lot of the details, and I can then go and do a rewatch, and it's sort of got a good twinge of being, not unknown, but you know, I've got a crap memory. So it's always good for me to rewatch stuff after a couple of years. It's been a while since I've watched Ghostbusters, and I thought, well, I'll leave it, because I know a lot of people will go and rewatch the originals first and then go into this. I thought I'll give it its chance. I'll be fair, and you know, I won't compromise my view of it straight away by going in. And so I went there, I sat there, watched it, and I thought it was terrible. I mean, I'll give it its chance. I hated it from start to finish. It just, for me, the humour just didn't hit. The jokes just didn't work. it wasn't funny. I mean, I'll laugh at quite a lot of simple things. I've not got the greatest sense of humour in that. You know, I'll laugh at some simpler films, but this, it just did not make me laugh. And I felt like I got about halfway through and I'm like, oh, I want to go. And I forced myself to watch it, so I didn't make it all the way through. Well, that had been hacked away as well, and you know, pieces removed, which just ruined parts of the stuff. But anyway, I will never watch that film again. Didn't have any redeeming features. I didn't think there was any chemistry between the main characters. It just felt like let's do something with this franchise. Let's get some money off it. It was very cut and paste and cheating in its way. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people. That is a Marmite film. You either love it or you hate it. I'm afraid I've fallen into the hating category. I mean, after I'd seen it, I let myself get over it for a couple of days. I then went back and watched the first film, because that's what it's effectively a remake of in a way. It is pretty much a remake, except like they do things like they're supposed to be building a business in the new one. But you just don't get. There's none of that. There's none of these are normal people getting caught up in spectacular things. There's no decent build-up or anything. It feels more like random sketches thrown together which don't really work. And the effects work was quite good. I really did. That did give it its due. They'd spent the money on that. But then at the same time, you go back to the original and the effects on there. You cannot tell with a lot of them. I mean, especially the librarian ghost right at the beginning in the original film. Even to this day, because I've rewatched it recently, it looks fantastic, and it's just very, very simple. You know, no CGI back then. Very, very simple trick. But they should have maybe done something like that, or maybe done another staple of marshmallow in a rubber suit. It would have worked. So yeah, I was very disappointed in that. I was hoping for good things. If they do a sequel, I think the talk is they won't, but if they did, I would not go and see it. It put me off. That's how crazy it did. The last three remaining Ghostbusters did guest appearances. Dan Aykroyd did. He was by far the best. He was actually very funny. He was very quick, very snappy. He was quite funny. And it was such a shame that they'd not maybe tied him into the story. They could have done a much better story. Maybe had him as like one of the female Ghostbusters would say, his daughter or a relative, and him running the bookshop, or now driving. He appears in a cab. Sorry, I've spoiled that there, but appears in a cab. They could have had him, meeting her or picking her up or something. Would have just been a much tighter bit on that part, so it just didn't work as it was, which was a shame. But I didn't like Bill Murray's guest appearance. It very much felt like he just turned up on set, or like did his bit, and then it just didn't. It felt wrong. I can't explain it. After that, actually, Winston's. I forget his name. Isn't that terrible? But he right at the end of the film, and that's probably the best part of the film. He was a good. That was a good thing that they did. But again, he could have been relinked back into the story and maybe turned up at the end and looked up, because the original Ghostbusters house is in there. That's the other thing I felt when I was in the cinema. It's like they have the original Ghostbusters built in and the set, and they do the stuff inside, and it's just like, as I was watching the film, I saw that bit, and you just like sat and you're just thinking, you girls, have not earned that. It doesn't feel like you've made the effort, or that's your place of where you should be. You've done nothing to say that you're proper Ghostbusters, because that's another part of the film. There's very, very, very little Ghostbusting. Nothing actually happens. It's like they do a bit in the middle, they mess it all up, and then there's a bit at the end, and they don't catch any ghosts, and it's just like, well, it don't work anyway. I'm sorry I'm disappointed, I'm going on too long. Anyway, guys, that's enough for the vlog for this week. I've got a lot of content coming. I'm going to stick up a new retro show tomorrow. I can't think what it is I've done. Is it? Oh, it's When Games Attack. I've not uploaded that one yet, have I? Sorry. I'll have to check the channel. Anyway, there's something else coming. Just keep an eye on the channel. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and please look forward to another video soon.